It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout Shortcast. And with me is Melissa Dalton, who is running for City Council unopposed. What area do you represent, Melissa?
It'd be Ward 2 on the northeast side.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, Iowa. I moved to Newton in about 2005. I have 5 children that have been or still are in the Newton School District. My husband and I own a couple businesses here in Newton, lawnmower sales and repair shop, and Dalton's Farm Toys, and we sell tractors.
And you've been on the City Council for 4 years now.
Correct.
What are some of the things you're most proud of in the 4 years that you've served on the City Council?
I think that as a council as a whole, we've had a very forward-thinking council. We've done a lot of good things. A couple of the things that I've worked on myself was the vacant building policy, which I know is not everybody's cup of tea, but hopefully it'll help with the empty buildings in town. And also getting the Newton Rail Park, working with the county and the rail to get that up and going.
There's a lot of positive aspects to the rail park. In fact, at Rotary on Tuesday,
Yep.
A guy came and spoke about the rail park. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's about 400 acres. The railroad already owns, 75 acres, somewhere around there. I know they already have prospects that are looking at the area. They redid a laydown yard, actually with TPI in mind and making the wind blades bigger and being able to haul those on rail. They're working on getting the site certified through the state of Iowa. And then once that's done, they'll start marketing a little more aggressively throughout the nation, maybe world, I guess, I don't know.
When you talk to people outside of Newton, what are some of the positive aspects about Newton that you tell them about our city and things that you're most proud of?
Oh gosh, we have a great park system. A lot of activities to do as a family. We have a hike and bike trail. Parks are a big thing for me. I like the park system in our town. A good school system. We're working in the right direction on that. We're not Des Moines. We don't have the crazy hustle and bustle that we have in Des Moines. We're not growing as rapidly as Des Moines, which can sometimes be a downfall, but also a good thing. It keeps us with our own identity.
Mm-hmm. Why did you decide to live in Newton in the first place? You said in the podcast that you thought about a bunch of different cities, but you and your husband picked Newton. You have a business here in Newton. You could have gone to a lot of other cities, but because it's not Des Moines, was that one of the big reasons that you came here?
It was. Looking back now, we looked at Bondurant, Altoona, Ankeny, kind of this side. Obviously, my family is from Brooklyn. My ex-husband, his family lived in Sheridan, so we kind of wanted somewhere a little bit in between. And just driving around Newton when we were looking, I don't know, it just worked for us.
What do you think of the school system here in Newton?
The school system has had to make a lot of tough decisions in the last few years, but I think they're moving in the right direction. It'll be great once we get the new buildings or the revamped buildings done, and hopefully they can just start plugging away at the next steps.
Okay. I didn't ask you on the podcast about the budget, but is that one of the hardest parts of your job? Because I know you have to figure, and people don't get involved in the budget because there's so many numbers and things you got to figure out. But to me, if I were on the city council, that would be one of the toughest parts of my job, how to figure out how to allocate how much money to go to all these different departments and things.
Yeah, running your own business, you'd think you have a handle on how you would go in to do a budget like that. But man, there's so many different rules. There's a lot of a learning curve. I'm 4 years in and I still learn things daily when it comes to city stuff and the budget. The biggest difference is you look at it as you don't necessarily have to make money. Like you look at your own business, you're in it to make money. you have to look at it a completely different way when you're trying to do a city budget.
When people talk to you, when you're out and about, whether you're at a restaurant or you're out shopping or doing whatever, as Joe Blow citizen on the street, and they talk to you about things going on in the city, maybe at a Rotary Club meeting or something like that, what do they talk to you about, Melissa? What kind of concerns do they have?
A lot of the same things you brought up today. I mean, pretty much just asking questions. Even the people who yell the loudest shows that they care about what's going on around town and around the city, and with different areas of running a city. So a lot of, what's going on with building uptown? What are we doing about roads? Property taxes, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and I was going to bring up property taxes because I work at WHO, as you know, and boy, we had about a month ago, someone called up at the radio station in tears because she was afraid she was going to lose her house because of property taxes. And what's your stance on that?
I live in this town too. I definitely don't want my property taxes going up. Me and a couple coworkers were just talking about taxes being due this next week. So, and how much we're paying in property taxes. And I assure you that not a person on that council wants those to be any higher than they have to be. But we still have to run a city. So we look very carefully at where all those dollars go and what they're spent on, and listen to what the residents say. So reach out if you have concerns or wants.
You bet. Well, Melissa, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Melissa Dalton, running unopposed for Newton City Council in the election coming up in November on this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Till next time, Grout is out. See ya.